Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chapter 4, Stretching and Shrinking. We're going to be taking a look at Investigation 1 today, so you should all have this packet here, Stretching and Shrinking, Chapter 1. Investigation 1, Similar Figures. We're going to determine similarity. So there's a place to write your name, and once you do that, you're going to scroll down here to Lesson 4.1.1. The learning target is I can identify corresponding side lengths and angles of two similar figures. So here's our mini lesson. First, we're going to identify corresponding sides and similar figures. Now let's take a look at that keyword, similar. Similar is saying that these shapes are the same, but one shape is going to be smaller than the other. So it's basically like a mirror image of the other shape, except it's either smaller or bigger. And if we take a look at this example here, we do see that these shapes are in fact the same shape, right? They have the same angles. Their sides are in proportion to each other, but obviously this one on the right is smaller. It's a reduced image. So what we're going to take a look at is the relative position of the sides here. And so what I mean by that is if we take a look at side AB in the first quadrilateral, that would align with side EF in the second quadrilateral. So we could say side AB is similar to EF. And then we can take a look and say side B to C is in the same relative position as F to G. So we could say BC aligns with F to G, or similar to F to G. And then we can say C to D aligns with G to H. And then finally, D to A would align with H to E. This little sign here is a sign indicating similarity. So it's different from an equal sign. And here, if we take a look, this makes sense. We have A, B, C, D aligning with EF, right, what we started with, over to F to G, what came next, over to G to H, and then finally H to E. So A, B, C, D is similar to E, F, G, H. So that's the corresponding sides. All right, we can write it with these little lines above, indicating that these are segments. Okay, little line segments or sides. Now, if we scroll down here to corresponding angles, it's the same deal. We have angles A, B, C, D from this quadrilateral are similar to E, F, G, H, and here's how we can show that. So again, please write down these notes as you're going. So we're going to say that angle A is equal to angle E. All right, and I say equal to because look at it. It's like these both have right angles. Right? They'd both be 90-degree angles. Even if the shape is smaller, the angle doesn't change. And then we would say that angle B is equal to angle F. They're going to have the same measure here. And then we have angle C and angle G. Finally, angle D and angle H. Again, we see they're both right angles here, 90 degrees. So that's how we know that these Quadrilaterals are in fact similar. They have sides that are in the same relative position as each other, and we have angles that are in the same relative position as each other. Okay, so we have corresponding sides and we have corresponding angles. It's the same shape, we have the same angle measure, but obviously one shape is a little bit smaller. One quadrilateral, the one on the right, the image is smaller. All right, so now we're going to take a look at the workshop. You're going to do the same thing. We have our corresponding angles on the right side. So again, we can write angles with this mark here. That means angle. So here we could say angle A is equal to angle D. All right, notice how they're in the same position. And then we would say angle B equal to angle E. And then for relative sides, corresponding sides, we would say side AB similar to D to E. All right, and you keep going, you'd say maybe next B to C similar to whatever side that would be similar to. All right. And so you continue on throughout this workshop, completing that. And then you get to some tricky ones like problem 4. But remember, even though this is flipped, so like even though the shape is flipped, so now it's facing to the right, you can still take a look at, okay, A is on the top of the arrow. So if I look at the top of the arrow over here, it'd be H. And B is at the right side, the right corner of this arrow. And looks like I is over there on the right corner. All right, so you just have to kind of think about where A went to. All right, think about where each letter went to, or you could actually redraw the shape to look like this. All right, you could if you wanted to, and that might make it a little bit easier for you. And then again, you're going to put the corresponding sides, corresponding angles. Sometimes you'll have it like B, where it's really rotated. And so like B over here would be with N over here. And C over here would be with L here. Okay. Or maybe that's not the case. Okay, you'd have to go through and see if that aligns if you were to rotate that triangle. And then I'll ask you some questions here. What do you notice about the corresponding angle measures? Okay. So what do you notice about the angle measures? What do you notice about the corresponding angle measures again here with C? And then here we're going to be taking a look at similar figures, okay? So you're going to stop once you get to 5. That's your goal to get through at the beginning of class. And then we're going to move on to a second lesson here, which is I can determine if 2 given figures are similar or not. All right, go ahead, take some time. Hopefully you join on the next video. Thank you very much. Oh, one last thing. I have the exit ticket here for lesson 1.1 exit ticket. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the corresponding sides of these 2 figures here. And then if angle A is 120 degrees, all right, so if angle A, let's go ahead and fill that in, is 120 degrees, what is the measure of angle R? So let's think about if angle R corresponds with angle A. If angle A is 120, how much would angle R be? And that's going to help you out from when you answer these questions here. What do you notice about the corresponding angle measures? All right, thank you very much. See you in the next video.